gotta watch the Catava, because I can't... Oh, well, Catava murdered that on accident. It's not what it was meant to do. What's up, everyone, and welcome to a brand new series on the channel. Palworld came out recently, and don't get me wrong, Palworld is so much fun, and I enjoy it. But I also, over some time with Baldur's Gate and other things, have learned that what I really like doing is being a masochist and making myself play really hard things for no good reason in a game that's fun just on its own, because I can, and it is very, very interesting to me. So, with that in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to play Palworld Nuzlock. Obviously, taking from the inspiration that Palworld take from of a Pokemon Nuzlock, but we have to change a few worlds because of the differences between Palworld and Pokemon, and, you know, add a few rules because of the differences between Palworld and Pokemon. And so I want to talk through those while I start going through the tutorial of Palworld, because there is a tutorial that takes a little bit of time, and we need to discuss how some things work, because as of right now, with how Palworld is, some of this Nuzlocke is based off of the honor system, and that's just 100% truthful, because we do need to, like, catch a little bit more than you can in a Nuzlocke, things like that, but I still want to be very tried and true to it. So let's get into the settings for the world, and then I'll start running through the tutorial and talking to you guys about things. If you enjoy this, please comment ideas you think we should have, rules we should add, things you think would be interesting. I want to build this into, like, something that everyone's like, oh, you're doing a Palworld Nuzlocke, of course, and they can just start doing. Also, if you think, you know, I have some ideas that don't make sense, also let me know those, as we can continue to work on those and things of that nature. So with all that being said, let's get into the world settings, and then we'll get into the tutorial. All right, so world settings are pretty easy. You can name whatever you want. I'm calling this Nuzlocke 1 because I have a feeling there's going to be a bunch more that end up happening, because I have a feeling we will be losing a good amount. Multiplayer off. You cannot play Nuzlocke with multiplayer on. You cannot have anyone but yourself in the server. Difficulty hard. Leave all of the settings at difficulty hard. Do not change anything. No custom settings. Nothing like that. And okay. You can obviously make your character however you want. There's nothing against it. So go ahead and do whatever you'd like to do. Alright, so now that our character's been created, we wake up to these things staring at us on the island, and then they run away. And so let's talk about the rules while I do the basics of this, which really, the beginning basics are just picking up things. I don't go out this main area. I actually come in here and do a lot of my work in this castle to start, because there's a bunch of hidden chests and things you can get to start the run. So, here's the first rule of Palworld. You are only allowed to have one pal in your party of each pal type. Now, obviously, there is a pal deck, just like there is a Pokedex, and you can see every single pal that you've had. So you have 111 options, right? Only one of each pal is allowed in your party. Now, just like a Nuzlocke, if that pal were to, you know, become incapacitated, have to be put into pal box to be, you know, brought back to full health, things of that nature, you no longer can use it in your party ever. Now, obviously, in Pokemon, it's easier to tell because you can name them. While in Palworld, we cannot name our companions right now. But this is where I said it bases a little bit on the honor system, and we just kind of have to trust that you're going to do as the rules intended, because you would like to play the game to its effect. Now, I can already see the question being posed, yeah, but you need a bunch of pals for your bases and things. That's fine. You can use whatever pals you want in your base, and you can catch as many pals as you want, right? Because obviously, even part of the tutorial is catch 30 pals. So you can catch as many pals as you want, put them in your bases, things like that. But in your party, you can only use one pal of each kind. Now, here's the next rule, and this one's kind of a big one. I said you can catch any pal you want. That's correct. But you cannot catch any pal except for your first pal via damage. Meaning damage you deal. So you can't just run around and get pals by, you know, hitting them with an axe over and over again. You have to be... Any pal you catch in a pal sphere besides your first one must be because your pal damaged that pal to the point of which you can catch that pal. That way, you know, people aren't just running around with an axe to one of the most, you know, most important pals that they think they need and just hitting it a bunch and running away and hitting it a bunch and running away and then throwing a pal sphere at it. Number 3, and I think probably what's going to end up being one of the most important rules, is if you, as a character in the game, go to 0 HP, you are immediately done with your Nuzlocke run. If you faint, it's over. Now, normally in a Pokemon Nuzlocke, that would mean all of your Pokemon fainted, and then you'd go back and it'd be over, right? Because all your Pokemon fainted. But obviously, in Palworld, you can faint and then go pick everything up. Nope, if you faint, it's done. You're done. It's over. No more. And that's really all the rules I have right now. You can only use one of each pal. If one of your pals faints, they're done. It's over. They can no longer be used ever again. As soon as you catch your first pal, which you're gonna have to use, something to catch that first pal, you no longer, when you're trying to catch pals, can damage them. I am thinking about saying you're not allowed to use damage on any pals ever, but I don't think that's completely fair because it's built into the game to some degree. But you can't use damage to catch any pals. So when you're in, battles and things like that, you can. And then, yeah, you just play the rest of the game the way you want. I mean, obviously, a lot of it's going to be collecting resources, building up, some big pals, things like that, and that's perfectly fine. You can overtrain, you can do anything like that. I think Palworld is different to Pokemon, where you actually have a limit on the level that your pal will be at when you're at a certain level. So it's going to be a mixture of, building things like that. You can have as many bases as you want. You can let your pals heal whenever you want. Like, it's not like they can't be put in a pal box to heal, or they can't just heal while they're in your inventory. But if they faint, they are no longer able to be used. And yeah, there's going to be some buddy system involved, things like that. But those are the base rules I'm setting right now. Obviously, those rules might change over time, depending on, how easy or hard I think it is. If other people do it, how easy or hard they think it is, things of that nature. But those are the rules we're going to start with. So now I'm going to run through a bunch of this tutorial. I'm going to put some nice lo-fi background music to it and just kind of run through it, because there is a number of things that are just kind of boring. I have to punch a bunch of trees, build some things, get some things set up. So we're going to get the tutorial done. In this main little area down here, normally I can get a... Let's look at our pal deck. I can get a Chickapee, a Kadava, and a Lamba. So we're going to get one of each of those to have our starting party. And then one of the tutorial missions is to catch 4 more Lamballs. Well, that'll help us get through the other part of the tutorial of making sure that our pal box is level 7, right? So we're obviously going to be catching more than one of each pal just because how the game works. But only using one in, our party is the important part. And you cannot, I forgot to say this, you cannot switch once you pick the pal that's in your party. Because obviously different pals have different abilities, things of that nature. Once you have cemented a pal in your party, they are stuck in your party. Now that means you have to deal with whatever natures they've given you. You can't mess with anything, and you're not going to know what the natures are until after you have, thrown a pal sphere and said they're part of your party. And the first of each type of pal you catch must be the one that's in your party. That's the other rule I forgot to mention. So the first Lamball I catch is the Lamball that's in my party. The other ones can work in my bases, all of that, but they cannot be in my party to battle against other pals. Alright, so I'm gonna get a bunch of this tutorial done, and then probably do the first battle, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so we have the starting to base done. Not nearly as much as I want to have done. Let me turn the game volume back on. Not nearly as much as I want to have done. We also hit some of the early chests that I know where they are. We got our base done. Got some things set up. So now we gotta go get our first pal. Now, as talked about before, this is the only time in which we can actually use a weapon to get a pal. So, what I am gonna do is I am gonna be kind of picky. No, I'm not. I'm gonna take the Cativa. By far my favorite first pal. It's a little bit harder to get originally, and it can hurt a whole lot, but you catch it in the right spot. You can cuss it once or twice. Pal ball. Alright. Now, obviously, once we capture this Cativa, we're gonna have to let the Cativa completely heal up before we can do anything with it. So, wait, did we get Musclehead? Did that just say Musclehead? Hold on. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Oh, but it has Coward too. That'll be interesting. But we do need to start getting some food. Now, obviously, we can't attack any more pals. We could go out the front and just get some berries, but I don't want to do that. So, we're gonna have to just let Cativa heal up very quickly and then get some food. But I want to check and see. I think we just got... If I remember what Musclehead is, this is very interesting. Yup. So the Cativa we caught has plus 30% attack. So it actually has plus 20 because it gets minus 10. And minus 50% work speed. But it's not going to work anyways. So that's perfect. It has a major injury. I don't actually know how to get rid of that. But, so yeah, so it tells us plus 20. It's actually really cool. And we got some berries. I'm going to go get a tree and cook the berries so that we get a little bit more food. But we're now going to have to just wait for Cativa to heal up. And then we'll use Cativa to get limb. And then we'll use the lamb to get the other. And then we'll have 3 in our party. And then everything else that we catch will obviously not get to be in our party. Now, the easiest... So, one of the things that is important, because the other thing that I was thinking about while we were doing this that I want to add, is you also can't have more than 1 pal in your party. So, until you get 6 pals, you're going to have to catch a pal, and then immediately, without doing anything else... There's a visitor heading towards my base. Without doing anything else, right? So you'll fill your party. You're going to have to come back and put that pal in the pal box without doing anything else, unless you absolutely have to. And then I would suggest you make 1 box one thing and 1 box, you make you leave like box 1 open for like the pals you can use if a pal faints, and box 2 is where your working pals go. That's what I would suggest. But everyone can do their own thing. Oh, I am 1 food down. Shoot. Or 1 wood. I thought I had enough wood. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, this is not great. I thought I had enough wood. So I'm gonna get wood. I'm gonna make a bonfire. I'm going to cook. You know what? I think we need to just send this. And so, like I said, now we cannot attack a single pal. So, attack aggressively. I need you to attack this. So, we can't do anything. This is Cativa versus Lamball. There's nothing we can do. We obviously can recall Cativa, which we're going to do in a second here. I want 1 more hit. Call it back. Capture Lamball. This will give us a little bit more food, too. But we no longer are allowed to hit anything. But we get wool and some mutton. And then we could use Lamball to get the Chickpea, which is actually a level 3, which is kind of big. But really, I just want a tree. Oh, this works. I'm gonna pick up this shard, too, while I'm right here. We need to go cook some things. We'll grab this egg, and then I'm gonna go cook some things. And apparently someone came and visited my base, but it's about to be nighttime too, so I'm gonna have to wait through the night. All that fun stuff. So, we'll come back, we'll get our Chickpea, and then, then I'm gonna keep busting through the tutorial, because that's what we need to do. It's becoming daytime, and we need some pals to work for us, along with catching 4 more land balls. And luckily for us, we have 4 pal spheres. Now, we're gonna find 4 land balls is a different question entirely, but we probably should. Now, we could check this Chickapee, which might be, you know, semi-smart to do, but as of right now, I want to just see if there's enough land balls for us to get this next part of the tutorial done. There might not be, in which case I'll go get that Chickapee. Chickapee. Let's just... We need to go... We can probably do a level 2 Chickapee. Let's just get this done. Don't. Thank you. And Chickapee. So now we have 3 pals. Now, we could catch more of any of these pals, but if we were to do that, we need to automatically put it into our pal box, which means we don't want to do that right now, because that would mean we'd have to automatically run back to the pal box to put it away, because we don't have 6 pals. Eventually, once you get 6 pals, it doesn't become an issue. But since we did that, I'm gonna just get some wood, and then we're gonna go make some more pal spheres, because we have the ability, and then we need to just find some land balls, which there's a few different things we can find it on. When it comes to leveling your character, you can level however you want. I tend to do stamina first, because I want to be able to use stamina faster, or be able to do things faster, run more, mine things. I think especially in Nuzlocke, there's no real reason to up your attack. Maybe your defense makes sense, because then you can, you know, get hit by pals more often. But if you don't hit a pal, there's very few that are going to hit you first. Now, obviously, there are some, but since we're making it that you can't hit pals, you have to use your pals to take out the other pals. Defense might not even be that important. It might just be carrying and stamina. Obviously, we'll figure out over time what the best thing is, right? But, so let's make a few more pal spheres, and then we're gonna need to find some land balls. We might actually have to go out the front. I think I'm going to. I think we'll find land balls really easily. By the way, this is a good place to set up, but sometimes, eventually I'll get wood and we'll make stairs up these so we don't have to do this, but the start of this, sometimes climbing up some of these stuff is so annoying. And sometimes you do it perfectly, first try. Alright, so what were we coming here to do? Pal balls, right? Alright, let's craft 6 more pal balls. Let's go. We'll go out the front. I'll show you guys what I mean by out the front, because technically we didn't go that way in the first place. And this is, by the way, a reason why as soon as you catch a pal that's already in your party, you must immediately go back and put them in your pal box. Because even just crafting these pal spheres, I'm getting XP for my pals along with myself. And I was gonna say we don't want to, but the rules that I'm putting in place are you cannot level any pal except for the first pal you've caught. Just like you can only use the first pal you've caught in your party at any time, you cannot level any other pals besides the first one you caught. So we're gonna go this way just because I know there's land balls that will be out here. It'll make our lives easier. Also, we can get a bunch of berries for food. We'll get these land balls done, and then we'll probably end the episode by summoning our first pal in our base, because then we have to catch 30 more pals, which is going to take... I'm just going to, you know, get a bunch of wood, get a bunch of stone, get a bunch of pal spheres so that we have it, and then we can just run around and catch a bunch. And that same rule applies, right? So it's probably better for us to catch a variety so that we have 6 pals in our thing so that they automatically go to our box. Because as soon as I catch one of these land balls, I'm going to have to run back, and we're going to have to go back and forth and back and forth. So, 2 things you should do here. You should come over, talk to this person. They're going to be like, oh, this world's so hard, blah, 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 blah. You came from the outside. Who cares? Take it easy. They give you wood. You should also take this, because it gives you a fast travel. And you get a tech point for it. Just like when it comes to... I'm going to get the shield. But just like when it comes to your... other thing, like your skill points, right? you can take whatever you want in whatever tech tree you want. There's no rules against, you know, this or that or the other thing. What is that? Is that an egg? Yeah, it's just a normal egg though, right? Yeah. Okay. Alright. We are looking for a lamb. If we can find one. So this is like the first area of like exploration and stuff. I don't know if the creators expect you to come out here first and then like explore the inside of the mountain, but the inside of the mountain is always just way more intriguing to me. Are there no lambos out here? That'd be kind of funny. It'd be kind of funny if I was like, yeah, we'll go get lambos because we're going out here, and then there's not a single one that spawned. Is there really not a single lambo out here? So this is our little area, so this is just another way. And we did not get a single lambo. We can grab this chest, but it was not a single lambo. That's insane. Well, without a lambo, I think, you know, we kind of explained the objective of this. We explained what the plan is for this Nuzlocke. So I'm going to actually just spend a bunch of time collecting a bunch of resources so that then we can have all the PAL spheres. We'll just go on a PAL capturing spree for the next video so that we can actually get the tutorial done and then do the first fight that exists that isn't just, you know, you throwing your PAL at random PALs. But if you guys enjoy this, please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me things you think I should add. Tell me rules you think I should change. Like, these rules are still up in the air, right? We're still cementing the rules. We're still trying to figure out what will be the best. So I'm up for any and all suggestions and changes. But the more you interact, the more I will put out this content. And if you enjoyed, please let me know. But thank you guys so much, and have a great day. Alright, so I know I ended the intro, did the outro already. But then, these two were right here. And it felt wrong to not at least try to catch them. Oh, this one's coming after me. Uh-oh. 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 I gotta watch the Catava, because I can't... Oh, well, Catava murdered that on accident. It's not what it was meant to do. But sure. Happens. Chickpea did 0 damage. Thank you, Chickpea. There we go. Man, I really wish I had paid attention better so that my cat didn't just instantly murder this. But I guess that's better because then we would have had to leave. Oh my, I didn't catch that? I just assumed it was an auto capture. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, so we can capture that. We got some level ups. So, you know, there are XP bonuses for capturing multiple, but so here's an example of I caught a PAL. Since I already have a limb ball in my inventory, not inventory, you know, as part of my selection of PALs, I must immediately go put this PAL away because it'll start getting XP instantly. Now, obviously, the limb ball I got was level 3, but it wasn't the first limb ball I got. The first limb ball I got is only level 2. That, you know, it happens, but the level 3 land ball is one I need to immediately put away, and we're actually going to immediately summon it, because that's part of our quest. So we're going to run over here. We're going to click on our PAL box, and we're going to take... Oh, so the land ball is actually level 2. Now, so here's where you kind of just need to, you know... This is where it's important to have some sort of understanding of what you're doing and, you know, honor system, right? This is the first one I got. You can tell because I'm pretty sure it's the first one I got. It has no damage on it. That's how you can tell. You can also use the passive skills if you need to. Things like that to tell you what it is. So we need to put this land ball away. Now this land ball is gonna just hang out at our base. I don't know why it's getting stressed. Probably because I don't have a bed for it. Here, I'll make it a bed. I put my beds over here normally. There you go, land ball. Here's your bed. so that you don't get stressed. And now we have capture 5, get 30, increase our player level by capturing 30, and then build our base up to level 7. So I'm gonna go get a bunch of resources, and then we will go on a capturing spree to get a bunch of this done. So now the video is over. Thank you guys.